My name is Amber Mitchell, and I am 29 years old. We have been together for 11 years and married for 1 year. We have 3 beautiful little kids. Life was good. I had been working away for 3 years, but I was always home on the weekends or had a long weekend. I thought everything was going well. In April, I started to see some cracks in him not being able to cope with 3 little kids at home. So I looked at alternative roles closer to home. By early October, I was able to move back home to a role that suited us all. 3 days after I started my new job, he went on a 5-night vacation to Vegas with the girls. We talked every day and he seemed to be having a great time. I was so happy he was having so much fun. As he needed to, I had a weird feeling about him on Saturday night. But we talked and everything seemed fine, so I tried to ignore it. But it didn't really go away. He came home Tuesday morning and I was at work. I finished my normal time and went home as soon as I could. But the Saturday feeling was still there, so I didn't know what I was getting myself into. We kissed and hugged, but he felt distant. The kids went to bed and we talked about Vegas. She woke me up in tears Wednesday morning. She had told me that she had been seduced by a man in Vegas who had shown interest in her. She wanted to kiss him and have sex with him, but she didn't. She had struggled with this dilemma on Saturday night, but that meant she wasn't happy at home and wasn't sure if she wanted to be with me. She didn't do anything but chat with this person. I was shocked, stunned, and devastated. I expected the holiday blues, so I held on to the uncertainty. She told some of her friends, and I told 2 of my friends, and they were all shocked. So it was out of character for her. After 2 weeks and a lot of talking, she said she wanted to figure out why she was unhappy and rebuild the relationship, but something about her story didn't seem right to me. If she was struggling with feelings for this man, why did she text him on Sunday asking to meet him for a drink? She knew it was wrong and chose him over me and her family. Cheating is unacceptable because she was cheated on in her first marriage. I asked her for 2 months about her story. I tried to make sense of it, but it never happened. Her story came on Thursday. She met him on Friday. He changed numbers because his friend had an affair with his friend, but his friend didn't have roaming. A few contacts on Saturday for her and her friend to meet up. On Sunday, she texted him for a drink because she was alone in her hotel room. There was more to this story, and I reached my breaking point. I told him if this story was true, I didn't believe him. And if I thought he was lying, we couldn't be together. He went for a drive, came back, and asked me what I wanted to know. I told him everything. She came on Thursday. They met on Friday. They attended a Lionel Richie concert. They went back to his hotel room. He wanted to kiss her again. She said no, but he wanted to. He heard her having sex in her friend's bedroom and left because it was too much. The other 2 girls kept drinking. They kept going back and forth on Friday night because her feelings were for another man. There was regular contact throughout the day on Saturday, but the girls had plans, so we just chatted. The girls went to a club on Saturday night, but jet lag started for her, so she went to bed. Her man was texting her, but she was asleep. She woke up around 2 a.m., saw his text, and he was downstairs in the casino, so she went downstairs to meet him. They stayed for a few hours, laughing, joking, and linking arms. Regular contact with him again on Sunday. Towards the end of the day, he invited her out for a drink because he knew she was alone in her hotel room. Monday, he suggested they delete their numbers and leave them as they were, but she didn't want it. A week later, I texted him while I was at work. You lied to me, over and over. I'm telling you everything, whether you want it or not. If you can't do the same to me, then we can't continue. I've always been suspicious of kissing, but not of panties going down. I need to work for sex, and this is what she gives to the first guy who says she looks fit. I was devastated. She wanted to have sex with this guy on Friday, but by Sunday night, she was ready to do it. She lied again, put on a front that I could see right through. This is completely out of character for her. My body is betraying me because I am still attracted to him, and I still want to have sex with him. At this point, I think it is forgivable, and I actually want to forgive him because it is out of character for him. And menopause messes with your libido and hormones, but I am scared of being vulnerable to him again. It is not what I wanted, but I couldn't afford to be unhappy and uncomfortable. I feel better now, but empty. It hasn't affected my desire for the love and affection of a good woman, or my desire to give love and affection to a good woman. Sometimes, shitty things happen. My ex-mother-in-law sent her church friends to harass my daughters and me. Now I have exposed her family to the church community, and she is being shamed and ostracized at church. My daughters are 15 and 16 years old. My ex-husband had a strained relationship with his parents. My ex passed away in an accident last year, and since then, we have had a big family drama due to his cheating and orphaning 2 boys born to his partner with whom he was having an affair. He died too. Part of the drama was that my ex-in-laws were trying to get custody of my daughters, and they were also trying to live with us. We will go to court for the first one. The second one will never happen. Where we live, there is a weekend Sunday market where fresh produce, eggs, meat, and other products from farmers are sold. This week was extra special because it was my youngest birthday. Since the party will be later in the month, I decided to give her a budget and let her go to the market so she could get everything she wanted, mostly chocolate and sweets. After an hour, I started to get worried. She called me just before I was about to call her. She was crying, saying that some strange people had cornered her. I ran to her side with my eldest daughter and saw 6 old women scolding my daughter for not being a Christian, for refusing to spend time with her grandparents, or not wanting to be a good big sister to her poor orphaned baby brothers. My daughters were the ones who found out that my ex cheated on me and had those babies, so they don't like those children. It's a trauma, and they're working through it with a therapist. I pushed my way between the group and my daughter. I told my eldest to pay for the things her sister had and to go to the car. Then I turned to the women, some of whom I had known when we went to my ex-mother-in-law's church, and I told them off properly. They told me I was the worst for refusing to obey my former mother-in-law like a good Christian wife.
Vomit.
Eventually, the screaming became too loud, and we were all asked to leave the market. I met my daughters in the car. The women followed me like a group of vultures. I managed to get in the car and drove away. After my daughters went to bed, I went online to talk to another member of the church with whom we got along well. I told him what had happened. After he apologized, he told me the real story. My ex-mother-in-law had shared this huge sob story on the church's Facebook group about how horrible my daughters and I were, that we had left them homeless and penniless and that my daughters refused to talk to them. She also claimed that we were the reason they lost their grandchildren. The kids are now living with distant relatives of my ex-husband. Basically, it was a pathetic story worthy of a Hallmark movie. And of course, they were getting all the love and support from the more extreme members of their church. This church and its members are a little annoying, especially on LGBT issues. But they do have a small saving grace. They are incredibly strict about cheating. Whether it's from the husband or the wife, that's a big no. So how did my ex-mother-in-law avoid accusing me of having affair children without revealing the cheating? She claimed that the other woman was our surrogate because I couldn't have any more children. And then she said I didn't want the babies because they were boys. Absolutely disgusting. I decided it was time to clean up this mess. Since I was in the middle of a divorce when my ex-husband died, I had all the evidence I needed. And since the divorce was not finalized, I had no legal restriction preventing me from publishing all the evidence. I had the next day off. All the beautiful photos of my ex cheating on me, the messages with his affair partner, the messages with his parents where they admitted to knowing about the affair and supported him, my ex-in-laws harassing me about the divorce, and my final blow, all the emails and text messages in which they bullied my daughters about their younger siblings. In one of them, they called my daughters bastards and told me that it was their fault their father died, because they exposed the relationship and I started the divorce. This was exactly 2 days after my ex died. I paid extra to have all this printed on beautiful, high-quality paper. Then when I got home, I spent hours making tastefully personalized folders. They look like little packages of prayer songs that the church gives out for everyone to sing hymns. The first picture people saw when they opened the folders was my ex and his affair partner kissing in our living room. Their faces were clearly visible, and the woman looked nothing like me, different skin tones and hair colors. I wrote under it, ex-husband's name and affair partner's name, love story. I took them to the church before Mass. For people who forget their songbooks, there is a table with extra ones in the back, and nobody checks them. The cauldron of gossip was fast and brutal. The things people wrote about my ex and his partner on Facebook were so bad that the pastor himself had to get involved just to keep things somewhat under control. People were angry at my ex-in-laws for mistreating my daughters. But what made me laugh was that while I was still seen as unfair for the divorce, it was also understandable that I failed to fulfill my duties after the shock. And unlike my cheating husband and his Jezebel, I may one day return to the light. They used another word, but I can't write it here. I received 2 letters of apology in the mail from my daughters, and an invitation to join the church for support. And what about my ex-in-laws? They were ashamed and left the church. My ex-mother-in-law posted on her wall about how alienated she was and how no one cared for the elderly anymore. I wish her wonderful son was alive so he could take care of her and her husband. With what money, I don't know, because I was the one who made a living. My girlfriend wanted to take a break. She got drunk, had a heart-to-heart with her ex, and now he's sleeping in her bed. What should I do? My girlfriend Jessie and I have been together for a while now. We are both in high school, and I have always loved her deeply, like a love affair. She is calm and reserved, while I can be intense, passionate, even overwhelming at times. We have had our ups and downs, especially lately. I tend to overcommunicate, and she needs space to recharge. This has become a pattern. Earlier this week, things came to a head. She told me she needed space, but not a breakup, just a pause. No communication for 3 days. I accepted. I respected it. I held on to hope that this would be a reset, not a meltdown. 3 days were hell for me. Every hour felt like a year. But I waited. No messages, no likes, just trust. After a long conversation on the 3rd day, I sent her a message at 10:32 a.m. The message said, "Just know that if you want a best friend, I'll try to be that. Come on, just say one word, and I'll stop being your boyfriend and be the best friend I used to be." 40 minutes later, she read it. She didn't respond right away. Hours passed. She finally texted me. She said that she had been drinking the night before, that she had talked to her sister and Tristan, and that conversation had brought her to a realization. Here's what she told me. "I don't think this relationship is salvageable. I took part in it because I enjoyed being your best friend. I hate the romance part now. I feel like I'm straining our relationship. I guess I don't love you that way anymore. But I don't want to break up yet. I need more time. I don't feel like myself anymore. I feel like I'm just existing as someone's girlfriend. I'm always wondering if I want to get married. I don't even feel like my own person. But I'm happy to be with you. I just need a long time." I handled this as calmly as I could. I acknowledged her pain, confessed my flaws, and thanked her for being honest. Then she said something that took my breath away. "Tristan is sleeping in my bed." No explanation, just this. And this is the same guy she had confessed feelings for years ago, one of the few people I have always felt insecure about. She insists nothing happened, but it was 5 a.m., they were drunk, I didn't question her. But I feel hurt, disrespected, humiliated. We haven't officially broken up, but I feel like I've been gently catapulted into a heartbreak I never expected. I don't know if she's lost in her own confusion or if I'm stalling. I just know that I've been patient, loyal, and respectful, and I've watched someone I love crumble, dragging me through the mud in the process. What do I do? Do I walk away now, even though we haven't technically broken up? Do I give her the long time she says she needs, despite everything I've learned from that night? And how do I even begin to rebuild myself after all this?